Nice. So we're live. We're going to be trying out another one of these prints. The last one we printed was for the Nightfire, which is really interesting and printed perfectly, but we don't have the Nightfire. But the other one is going to be for the Pavo20. Apparently it would be the Lite version for the Pavo20 Pro. We'll test it out and see if it works. For those of you that want to have a look and see, hold on one second. Let me just close this off here and see. So this is the Pavo20 Pro with a GPS unit on it, which works well. This was the other one we printed, but I didn't realize that Pro Nightfire, and this is the regular Pro. We do have press nuts though. The press nuts are on here. We put them on, but we'll have to use this thing to heat them up, like we did for the Pavo Pico version 1 frame. So we printed this, and then as you can see, works perfectly well, flies well, but the most challenging part is putting on the press nuts. It did say, I don't think it said it's possible to put them on, but this already has in the frame, right? So we're pretty much good. But since we're printing a new one, as you see, that'll work with the this drone, the Lite version. So what we'll do is we'll click on it, put it in. We're using Ultimaker Cura, the latest version, I believe. If we go to About, right? We go to Help, I believe, and About Cura 5.9.0. So hopefully you have a similar experience, if not better. And for me, I'm just going to rotate it so that we can see it as it's printing. Right about there. Turn it. For me, you don't have to turn it. I'm just turning it for the audience so that you guys can see it. And then you're going to click here on Dynamic, and then the infill is set to 0. See right here, 0. See, infill density is 0. And then I'm going to slice it, and then we're going to call it 44 minutes to print. Save to disk. Let's call it Lite, right? Lite. Make sure you have enough filament. It's going to take 3 Gs of filament, 0.9 M. Okay, Lite version, and click OK. And then now that it's saved to disk, what we can do is we can go to the printer right here, which I have on here in my browser. If you print wirelessly, you can use the Beagle camera. And then I'm going to upload printable files, upload, and look for Lite, which should be on the desktop. Usually everything is placed alphabetical order wise, and select open, and there's a little button right there. We can go print, and then when we press print, printer will start, and then as it starts, I need to push it here. Make sure, as you see, make sure your print bed is clear. So I'll do that in the meantime. Take some stuff off. And then, oh no, this is the bed. Oh, okay. Once it comes back, I think it's going to go back there. It's going to hone in. And then I got to be quick and take that one off. This way. And then voila. I'll maybe spray some 3D lac. Yeah. So that it sticks. Can't forget that. And then, alright. And then now, okay. So we just sprayed some 3D lac on it, and hopefully that'll work, and I guess we'll catch you guys on the flip side. So enjoy the print, and we'll see how it goes. It'll take approximately, according to the slicer, the Cura. I'll just open it right here. Right there. Should be, see, 44 minutes, which isn't so bad, depending on your print speed. Okay, and make sure if you have other settings in there, just do the rewind button and then just put infill 0. If you have something previously in there from before, Cura will save it. So make sure you just clear it and then put infill 0. And I believe that was it when it came to the settings. Yeah, because there wasn't anything. And there's a link in the description down below if you need. And I believe, let's have a look. Looks like the print already started. All right. And we'll probably give away the other one, the one to the Nightfire, for anyone who wants or needs, because we don't have that version. If you don't have a 3D printer, I'm more than happy to send that away. And knowing that, And moving forward, actually, let me just make sure we're live streaming too, because sometimes that happens where the stream will actually be private, and then I'm like, oh, it's okay, great, it's live. All right, yeah, that's it. So if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Apparently, this is the only one I was able to find right now. It says mount for 04 air unit Lite. I can't wait for the Pro to come out, but given that the Lite version is a little bit cheaper, probably because people are going to be crashing it and they'll need a replacement like that, and it's probably why the price point slash structure is just right for you. It'd be nice if the Pro fit in here. It says BetaFPV Pavo Pico and Pavo20 Pro. Sorry, and Pavo20. Sorry, not Pro, just Pavo. So that would be the Pavo Pico, the drones that we have here. It's a smaller drone, like this one. I'll show you. BetaFPV Pavo Pico and Pavo20 mount 04. So it's so confusing. Like so many. Like I just want a 03 air unit or 04. Now there's 04, right? Air unit, but then there's 04 Pro. So yeah, don't get confused like I did. But here, let's see what we have here. See? So it's a little bit smaller because these are bigger. The Pro is bigger. Pro, this is Pro, and this is just regular Pavo20. See the big difference? There are lights on here. I think I did put lights on, aside from the GPS, I did put lights on a Pavo Pico too. This is a GPS unit. And then, so this will actually work. I could see how the light version would go in here because it's so much lighter. I just don't know where we would squeeze in that little unit. Well, that's why we're printing that part, right? Gotta love it. Anyway, kind of neat, huh? And then see, this is the frame. This is the frame that goes on the Pro. And then this is the frame. Big difference in frame. See that? For the Pavo Pico. But again, we're printing a new one. So most likely this will go on top. We'll figure it out. Anyway, let's just watch the print and see how it goes. Back to our live transmission. Yeah, wow, kind of neat. Little X marks the spot. Let's just pull that out. Well, I have enough filament in there. Yeah, should be enough. Hopefully. check it out. Hopefully our stream is still going. We're still live. Let's see, make sure this is still running. Hopefully. Nice, we're still live. I'll just pop that out like that. And then put this here, move this out of the way. So it looks like, oh wow, nice. Yeah, it does fit. Look at that. This would go, remember this is the back, okay? And then you'd have your other, let's see. Yeah, look at that. For this is where the O3 air unit would go. You have to make sure you have your screws for this thing. And then, yeah, let's see, do I still have the, yeah, I still have the screws. Let's see, I have one. And we can pull the other ones from, let's see what we got here. So you would need the 4 and then the 1. And, oops. This part's tricky, getting the bolt in. Nice. Could use a little tweezer or tool and then just push it in, and then put this in like that. Looks like we might need a longer one though. A little bit of a bummer because the screws are unless not there. And then we have on the top here, and even if you use the original long ones, let's see. See? Unless let's see if there are other parts in here. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, this is it. This is the only one. Interesting. That was all that was on the STL file. And then we have here. Let me see the picture. There's a link in the description down below if you want to copy it and have a peek. I'll just copy it and then put it in and then paste it in and press enter. Yeah. Let's see. The light goes, yeah, I don't have and if we click download, interesting. So that would go there, that would be getting it there, and then you'd have that little. Let's see what parts we have inside the box, because I do have an original frame set HD Pavo20 and HD. Whoops. So we've got Pavo Pico brushless. This one right here. This one's for Pavo20, and then you have Pavo20 Pro. This was, I had gotten these back in the day until I realized you can 3D print them. I was like, what? Never again. And then that's why I made the video that you'll see that you can actually print the frame to this. The only challenging part is the press nuts, but we do have the bolts, I believe. Hopefully, the long ones. And you could use a tweezer if you need to take them out. Take out the existing bolt. So I'll just pull that out. Just hope it's long enough. Yeah, we do have the long one. So we have the one to the frame, which is right there, and then the long ones to the Pavo Pico. Everything, as long as you kept all your stuff in a bag, you're fine. If not, then you might have to order the frame kit, and then everything else that goes with it. So you see, here's this part. And I probably have another one in the box too. And then inside here, we have the long bolts, okay, which we'll put here. So we have the GPS unit, which is on the back, and we'll leave that like that. And then what we'll do is we'll open this, which is kind of neat, really interesting set. Just do one bolt, see how it goes, and see if everything lines up. If it does, then, except I don't have, oh, that's interesting. I don't have, oh, they're in another bag. The little bolts, because as you can see, these are longer. So let's see if one fits. We will be golden. Yep, one goes in. See? We'll just push it in. See, it goes all the way in. It's amazing how they designed the holes so perfectly so that, nope. You're really going to need some longer screws, to be honest with you. And even if you took out the little washer / grommet, and that's everything that's in this kit. And even if we did that, and even if you put the 04 air unit in, that's as long as the screws get. As for this one, these are designed for the smaller screws. How they, I can see there. I'm not sure where they got the longer screws from. Yeah, so it's going to buy it. The it has one hole for the antenna, which is fine. See, that would go here and cover it. And then what else is on top? And that's it. That's all we got. Unless there's another piece, but there's only one piece in the print. So even if we got that in, even if we had the press nuts, we still wouldn't be able to put this piece on. Because as you can see, unless we put, yeah, this piece, let's see if the bolt fits through here though. Maybe the bolt, let's see. So I'll pull this out. And this is a bolt from the original Pavo Pico kit. I'll show you so you can see in 1 second. So even though the other one was printed incorrectly because it was to the night fire. So this, see, will go through there, which is fine, but it won't, we have the rubber, that's not going to fit in there, even if we could screw it. And this is the original part. Let me see, hold on. Let's see if we can screw it in. No, because the hole is too small. Nope, let me just unlock that. And in case you're wondering, here it is right here. It's just a Pavo, just dropped something. Pavo Pico frame. See? Pavo Pico brushless frame black. See, and that's everything that comes with the Pavo Pico kit. And this is the Pavo Pico frame. See, the Pavo Pico frame, and you can tell the difference between the Pavo and the Pavo20. Pavo20 is bigger, looks similar to the other one, the Nightfire one. So this is a Pavo20 frame. See that? This is actually Pavo20, just Pavo20 and Pro, and this one's Pavo20 Nightfire or something like that. So as you can see, different drones, different beasts. See, this one would go, what's on there? Here, see, Pavo20 Pro. It's bigger, it's got lights and all the other fun stuff, and that fits there, but there's no, ideally you would have something like this that would just fit. And even if we had the Lite version, right, as you can see, unless maybe we line it up with the different holes underneath, right? That could work if we put it on the ones on the bottom. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see if it fits in the other holes, because it does have ones for the smaller holes, right? Which is right here. No. Well, it will fit in the back ones. Let's see. No. Maybe with press nuts, possibly. But even if we got, and then I can see maybe underneath where this would go in and screw into the frame with press nuts for sure. This is nice. It's a tight fit though, so it looks like it would. We might be able to screw this in from underneath. Yeah, probably. See, this fits in that hole. But then, so even if it does fit in that hole, what screws go on the back, right? And those are the ones we don't have in any particular kit. And these are the longest ones, so even if we ran it through, right? If we ran it through from behind, it's not gonna be sufficient now. It'll be a little sparse. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's look at the picture. It did print beautifully though. Maybe there's a list at the bottom. Other files, details. Put nuts in place, breakaway, the 4 breakable supports and M2 nut. Okay, interesting. Print without any supports. Okay. Put the carbon cross on top of it and screw it with the M2X 2.5 self-taping. Screw the VTX below with the M28 MX8. Pay attention, the long side of the rubber grommet is toward the top of the USB port is also on top. Interesting. Yeah, so basically you're jerry-rigging it. I think we should just wait until somebody actually comes out with an actual frame that's legitimate enough. But this is a talent, this thing right here, to be able to do this. Imagine that, because look, even if we mounted it from underneath, there are no screws to support it, to push it through, right? And the only screws we have are the ones in the front. Yeah, the ones in the front right there. We need longer ones, unfortunately. A little bit of a bummer. Unless we take out the grommet. If you take out the rubber grommet, right, and then place it on, you might get lucky. And then that might do some justice. Let's see. Oh, that's when I took the props off, because I 3D printed some props to see how it would fly. So as you can see, this goes in. See? Maybe without the grommet. See, it's still not long enough. Let's try the other long one. And these are all the parts. I didn't, bummer. Let's try another screw. Here's the longer one that they give you with the drone kit. and check your box to see what you got. Or you may have to go to Home Depot. No, because look, even with the longest screw that came with the kit. Maybe if I remove the grommet. You know what? Let's remove a grommet just to be sure, because we can always put them back on. A little bounce, you know, a rubber piece thingy. Maybe. Right. They're a pain to put on, but it's fine. Got it. The rubber part. Just trying to take off the rubber piece. It's broken anyway, the rubber piece. Looks like I'll have to replace it with a new one. Yeah, we got a new one. Or salvage it if I can. But it is broken. So tricky. We're just testing it out. Thankfully I have extra ones. I have a whole bag of them. I got like 500 in a box. There we go. See, this one's broken, but still salvageable. Let's still do the trick. And you get more in there. And I ordered a whole bunch because one time I thought I was gonna need a whole. You couldn't buy just one. All right. So knowing that and moving forward, let's see if we can see if it would fit naturally this way without the rubber shock absorber piece. And then put this like this. Maybe. I mean, I could see it working if you remove the rubber grommets and then bolt this on. But then no, because then you still wouldn't be. Well, maybe hold on. Let's see. No, because then you wouldn't be able to put the X on unless the X was no. See, and the X won't fit in these holes unless, let me see if we screw it. Put that like that, that like that. No, it doesn't go in. Bummer. Glad I didn't go buy one. Let's see, let me test the holes. Put that, no, because it won't even work. The bolt doesn't go into the hole. And it doesn't even fit. Yeah. See, this is what we get right here. All these are all original parts. So remember, Pavo Pico. So even if we got the X through, it won't go in there. They must have had some spare parts laying around. And then we have here. So, but it does fit flush, right? if you take out the rubber grommet piece, but then you don't have, then what do you screw it in with, right? Because now what's going to hold the O3 air unit? Where's that cover? That little part that would go over here, and I don't, maybe it needs to be downloaded. Hold on. Maybe there's another part. Download all models. And then we'll go here, open, double tap, and then open. No, just one. Here, I'll let you see. See? This is all that's in there. And that's the condenser just went on. I turned on the heat, which means it's going to get loud. Yeah. Interesting. Alright. On that note, someone's going to come up with it. So, you know, without having to jerry rig it, without having to take apart the grommet, without having to, I don't know, do what I just did. Someone's going to come up with a solution that works just right for you. And as you can see, this one, I'm not sure what happened here. Well, this is from the beginning. This is a few years ago. So it must have been from one of our crashes. Because remember, we rebuilt this in the beginning before I could fly FPV. I was crashing. And then FPV Unknown gave us rates that we could not live without. And then finally, I could fly. Yeah, a little bit of a bummer. All right, so I'm just going to rebuild this but with a good rubber grommet. And the problem with these rubber pieces is that I only needed a few, and the reason why I got so many, like over 100, was because you buy a whole package and you get like so many different sizes that I didn't even know existed. And I just needed ones for here back in the day. And when we rebuilt the Pavo Get Bar C Cinehawk 25, when I had crashed that one, I had to get the rubber parts that needed to be replaced. And I was like, damn. But I seen a video where someone uses a piece of string and then pulls it through and then all that fun stuff. It's easy to get in, it's hard to get out. You to get in, you just push it. So make sure you put it in correctly. See? Voila, it's in. And then use a tweezer to clean out the hole, because apparently, as you can see, make sure you don't accidentally tear it. And that's it. It's fine, because you could always use a screw to push it through. And then voila. See? Yeah, it prints beautifully, I tell you that. This is some amazing engineering. But as you see, I need something more. And even if I use the original parts won't work. See, like we follow the directions, put that over here, right, to cover up your thingy. And then the bolt, the screw will fit through, but we can't bolt it on because, look, it just won't, this original part won't go in the hole. But it's nice that it fits through the freaking hole of the Lite air unit thingy. That's just phenomenal. And it has all the holes at the bottom, so you could screw in your 04 air unit. See, this is the original Pavo Pico screw and X thingy, whatever you call it. I don't want to ruin it, because like I said, I don't want to. You shouldn't have to jerry rig your stuff to get it working, right? You should be able to print it like we did here with the Pavo Pico frame when it crashed. Before I knew you could print it. Look, see, and it works. Oh yeah, look, actually, no need to pull from there because you see, it's right there. I'm holding one in my hand. Yeah, so unfortunately it prints, but unless you have the right screws and are really good at jerry rigging it, I don't know, it's not my way of flying FPV. I like my stuff to be solid. I like a solid build, and not solid from being jerry rigged, but solid from you know, the parts that came with it, so that it just works well out of the box. But I have to say that the engineering behind the printout is phenomenal. So I guess they assume, like some folks have an FPV graveyard in their home, so they can just pull parts from everywhere and jerry rig it. But this is just, it's phenomenal. Look at how that printed. You know, this definitely goes into the the Hall of Fame for like amazing shit to print and people build. But unfortunately, even with the original stock parts, you won't have any parts because you still need additional screws for the frame. What would be ideal is if they created this, right? Recreated this frame, but designed so that we can fit the 04 air unit in, but apparently not. I don't know, we'll see. Someone's gonna do it. Look at that. That's as far as we're able to get. And then, as you can see, this works too because they thought about that, but unfortunately the screws won't go through, and they're not long enough. And then you would just, it's so light right now. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put this on the printer and leave it as a screenshot. Like, well, maybe I'll change the thumbnail. Whoa, don't break your stuff. That, like that. Like this. And then move my keyboard out of the way so I don't step on it. And then what we'll do is we'll just change the thumbnail. I'll put this like this so you guys can see. Kind of neat, huh? And then I'll just hit record for a couple of seconds. Hold on. Let's make it, I believe this is it. Yeah, there we go. And then I'll just take a screenshot from there and just save the thumbnail. Change the thumbnail. And then voila. And we got that. And that's it. Kind of neat, huh? Gotta love it. Looks like I'm going to be printing Liam's things next, but that's between me and him, so that we won't be going public with that. But that I can't wait to print and download. Looking forward to that because I want to put it here and maybe over there. And yeah, unfortunately, it works. It doesn't really work, you know, as you can see. Even by default, that little X thing is supposed to go here. Oh, you can see at the bottom. But they have it on top. See? On the Pro, it's there to help with like some absorption. These are the press nuts I was planning on putting on, but then I realized that doesn't, the one that printed, see? Isn't going to go on there. Maybe this one. Maybe we take the one from the... Nah. Even if we did, I don't want to take parts from my other drone. We should be able to use the parts from the existing drone. Unless there's another one in there. No, there isn't. That's what we got. But I will put the parts away. Probably put that back in there since that was in there. And then this was an extra grommet, the broken one, but you never know, sometimes you can use it for something. Melt it. The frame to the Pavo Pico. And that was the correct one. That was the Pavo Pico. Hold on. Yeah. BetaFPV Pavo Pico and Pavo20 mount for 04 unit. So most likely it might fit the Pavo20 because as you saw, the Pavo20, it would probably fit ideally because look, we'll just put this over here, and these are the screws to the Pavo Pico frame. And then if we take these grommets off that we were going to use to mount onto the other one that we had printed, right? Let's see. I kept everything the way it was so that I could put it back together easily. So you see, 3. I was gonna melt the press nuts on, but I'm glad I didn't. Not on here. On here. So if anybody wants this one, you can have it. Oops. So we're gonna take that off. and then take that off, just 2, and then bring the frame back, because as you could see, the Pavo20 just works well with that little X thingy. But on the Pavo Pico, not happening. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. So that one, just push it down from the bottom. This one has I put a GPS on this one too. I put a GPS on all the drones. The GPS, nope. See, the screws just aren't long enough. Even if you took off the grommet, which is supposed to prevent jello and stuff like that, or you know, like a bit of a shock absorber type thing. A little bit of a bummer. So it does fit, unless we reverse it, right? So unless we took this off and give us a little bit of slack. Let's see. You can always put it back together. If you've built it, I built this thing so many times, taking it apart. That's why when you get into FPV, it's best to get a drone like this, because you'll be taking it apart, fixing it, soldering it, taking it apart, and then eventually, by the time you're ready to fly, you're no longer crashing, right? And then you treat yourself to a real drone, like a Gepard C or some, you know, something fancier and cheaper. I mean, a little more pricey. The Avata. Hold on. No, see? Damn it. So it does, because even if we wanted to put this on top, right? Even though this one won't fit because that's to the Pavo Pico. On the Pro, it's a little bit bigger. See? The bolts won't come all the way through. It's just not long enough. And even if you pushed it really hard, no. Oh well. We can just put it back. I got 1, 2. Put it back the way it was. Unless you took out the rubber grommet, but even that still doesn't give you enough to put the cover. And then you're kind of like flying naked, if you ask me, because it doesn't really give it. Well, then again, you really have to know what you're doing with flying, because I could see flying and crashing, and losing out on that $100 investment with this kind of security. At least with the, you know, because you're basically flying naked. I'm just putting the bolts back on. I like to put the bolts back on, so this way I don't have to go crazy looking for it, because maybe a month from now or a year from now or a week from now I'm gonna be like, you know what, I want to fly the Pavo Pico 20 Pro, and then I'm like, wait, where are the bolts again? Where are the screws? And I don't want to use I don't want to open up a new kit, because the kit is for if you crash it and you lose parts or it breaks, you know, like that drone that flew into the airplane in California. It's kind of wild how they that's the part that's tricky, like that baffles me. Somehow they have all the parts to the drone that crashed into the airplane in a Ziploc bag. Really? You know, like anyone who's crashed a drone before knows that pieces go everywhere, right? So that part, and even if it, like, I don't know, flew into the plane, and I don't know, it's hard to, I don't know, and it's hard to believe, especially now you can't fact check anymore, right? Because apparently it's forbidden on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg made the announcement. Yeah, I don't know, but it is what it is. But it's kind of messed up that someone was actually flying in the middle of a TFR too. We probably didn't know. Most people don't know. But it's too late. I don't know is not an excuse. All right. Yeah, a little bit of a bummer. All right, so I'm glad I didn't buy it. You know, we printed run wrong, because as you can see, this was for a bigger drone. Got spoiled there. I got excited because I was like, oh my god, it's the same. This one's a similar frame but a little bit bigger, right? And then this was weird though. Scaling is huge on that one. It'd be nice if it worked though. And that's how you know the difference. 20 Pro, Pavo Pico. This is a 20 Pro. So for this, I'm gonna put probably here, somewhere. Oh, you know what? I'll put it right there so I can find them later. And then this, of course, as you know, goes here. The hardest part was putting on the GPS. Because there was this guy in the video wasn't like Asian, and I had to pause it, stop, and even then I couldn't even see what the fuck the guy was doing. And then finally, I took a lucky guess, and the first GPS I burnt out. I was like, damn it. And then I ordered another one, and I said, well, it can't be those wires, so it's got to be that one. And then I got the correct wiring, and then boom, that's how we got the video for how to put your GPS on your Pavo Pico Chico. So these press nuts will keep. Hopefully, you know, we'll get there. Someone's going to come up with a print that doesn't require jerry rigging, where you'll just be able to set it and forget it. But it's good though. You know, if you got the FPV graveyard at home with those extra nuts, bolts, and screws, you're golden. You know, you're ahead of the game. I thought it was just going to be plug and play, but apparently not. But it is really cool. This one, I believe this one goes, I forget, it's hard to keep track of my FPV graveyard. Well, all these work. What I did was I transfer them from, I pull a Frankenstein with the 04 air units, because I'm not going to buy a new 04 air unit for each and every drone every time I want to fly it. I just transfer them. And this one goes up here, you know, and I still fly them. I like to fly them because as you saw last night, right, with the Avata, if you fly the Avata in low light, it goes bonkers. It has a mind of its own, and it will crash. This one is the new one because the old one's broken. It'll crash. I should save that little clip from last night. Experience. Went outside, put the new light on. It said light for your Avata. Apparently you need the light bright enough so that it will reflect off the sensors underneath, because if it doesn't reflect from the sensors underneath, that drone is going bonkers. And when I went outside, it was going, it went crashed into the window, and then when I went outside, it was just going around like this on its own. Let me see if I can, I'm going to save that clip too. Maybe I'll download it. Well, I will download it. It's the only way. But let me see if I can find it. See what I can. Oh yeah, I probably could turn it into a 1 minute short if it was long enough. But that was, my heart went into my stomach. I was like, oh my god. I was like, things just didn't go as planned. I'll turn on this. Turn on that. Let's see. Oh, nice. Almost 2 hours. Saturday night live Q&A. All right, so let's see. Today's show wasn't scheduled.
Great.
Usually every stream is scheduled, but except for today, because I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait. This will be a cool print. Somebody came out with a solution. Sort of. It's a solution, but you're jerry rigging it, and you know, if you're gonna spend $100, if you got money to blow away like that, do it. If not, wait. Hold on to your funds, and you will you'll get there, you know. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Yeah, hold on, we'll let you guys watch if you made it this far. Let's see, bring that up, and then that's me taking the drone, putting it outside. I'll do full screen so you can see. Hold on. And then I lost a little bit of signal. I'll put that in there and let you guys just watch. That's weird. Oh, I gotta press play. There we go. And then things pick up. I'm like, yes, we got signal, we got picture, and there I am there. And eventually things will just come back together. The drone will, because usually you'll have 10, 15, or 7 megabytes per second, and then when you turn the drone on, it sort of kicks in the reception, and you're like, boom, you've got everything. And we got good. This is, I thought this was the light from outside reflecting, but it's not. You'll see as we move forward. Hold on. Oh, that's me in the corner. And then, so don't believe everything you see on TV. I should put like a little sticker there, has seen on TV, because that shit don't work. You need like a freaking floodlight on your drone if you want it to fly it in the dark, or some lights underneath, because Liam was saying, make sure surrounding area is safe, press lock twice, and usually the drone will hover. So this is what happens in low light. Wait for it. Okay. Distance is 8 feet away. And make sure, so I'm probably just doing something. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but you'll see in a second. Shit will just go bonkers. And this is why you can't fly the Avata at night. But the drones you build don't have the sensors, so you just keep getting a low light ambient. Starting motors. See? I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. I can see in the dark, I can fly in my drone. I was so excited because I was going to put the LEDs on and all that other stuff. And then I was like, okay, we got 38 megabytes per second, which is great. 40, as you can see. It's like, oh, this is awesome. I can just keep flying. And then eventually I'm like, okay, should I press that? I was like, should I press the button? Should I not press the button? Like, this is what you want. You want to see light. You want to see reflection, so that you can just go away into the sky and have a nice flight through town. But no, it doesn't work like that. You will lose your drone. I almost lost it. So let's see, here I go. I'm in the chair. I got almost 50, 60 megabytes per second. And I'm thinking like, oh, this is great. I got a signal, so I'll be able to control my drone. You know, like, because you're thinking like signal's all you need. No, you need more than signal. So it takes off. And then as you can see, this is as bright as the flashlight was. Looked nice because it was reflecting off the rock. And then ambient light too weak. And then all of a sudden, the drone just goes, it starts flying backwards. I'm like, wait, why is it going backwards? I wasn't controlling it. And then it went bang right into the window. Actually, I should check the windows to make sure it's not broken. And then it's like trying to, oh, it's trying to fly into the light. And then it starts going that way. I'm like, what the? And then all of a sudden, it starts going that way. It's like a scary movie, the Blair Witch Project. I should just add some scary music to it. And then all of a sudden, it starts hovering around. And I'm like, oh shit. And so, yeah, things that go bump in the night, do not, unless you have the right lighting. But even if you do have the right lighting, you got to make sure that battery that is on there is at 100%, and that, you know, you don't plan to do 4 or 5 flights thinking like you got enough juice that will let you last throughout the night for those flights, because as soon as the lights go out, you're gonna be like pulling that shit apart, trying to put it together, or cashing in on your care refresh. I just hope that the newer version of maybe the Avata 3 will have whatchamacallit, night mode, right? Wouldn't that be great? I don't know. We'll see. I doubt. Maybe it may not, because if it will definitely have an 04 air unit in it, but everything else, I don't know. They'd have to build around it. Maybe like a little light, like the Mavics have, or the other newer drones underneath, you know, where you can just turn it on, and then you can fly into the night, because the light will be so bright it would reflect right off, or somewhere from the wings, or so that you can, because who doesn't want to fly their drone at night, like, and be like, but the blue light, the green light, people do it, but as you can see, the light wasn't bright enough. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I hope this video helped you and you have better luck with this light version of the mount for your Pavo Pico and Pavo 20 drone. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. It's kind of confusing. The Pavo20, the DJI 04 air unit. There is no 04 air unit. It's 04 Lite and then 04 Pro. So some of you might get confused thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get the 04 air unit. Which version? Lite or Pro? No, I just want the 04 air unit. No, you're not getting it. Lite or Pro. So yeah, otherwise you wind up making a goofy mistake like this and printing the one for the it's another story. Anyway, if you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. That's it. It's the end of this live stream. And now I'm going to print Liam's thing. At least I know all I gotta make for Liam's project. I just gotta make sure I have enough filament in there. But maybe, I think I do.